So we're going to do some neurotypical watching here. I say this tongue-in-cheek again. These ranges of behavior are possible for anyone. You'll see that I made mistakes in this, but I'm going to call it neurotypical watching anyways. Enough has been said about autism and autistics that I think we can stand to land a few bear pokes and some ribs to the other side of the fence. Speaking of fences, this video is about badly behaved neighbors. So there's two parts to this. There's security video footage, which doesn't have much audio except for my commentary about what's going on. And then near the end, there's a body camera footage showing audio of the interactions. And then we have my autistic commentary that finalizes the video. So have a watch. So this is security camera footage with cameras mounted on the side of my camper, pointed unfortunately at my neighbor's property. Things have, despite how questionable that is, things have devolved to the point where it became necessary. From this camper, half parked on the adjacent lot, half parked on my property, is Denise Emerging. Denise has been laid off in the middle of COVID. You can see the timestamp for this is 2021. She'd been laid off, I think, in the winter months prior to the new year, and somehow managed to secure disability benefits, despite being quite capable of moving. Now, does she have a disability? Maybe. Is it as bad as needing welfare? Probably not. But should we find fault with her survival skills? No, not necessarily. But there is a commentary on her character, which is part of what this video is showing. Okay, so now from the trailer emerges Jeff, her 17-year-old son. I moved onto the property about 3 months earlier, so that's the latest. You can see Jeff is quite as fast as a leopard here. My involvement with them had only been, 3 or 4 months. Jeff has been expelled from school at this point. Jeff wore a Confederate flag to school and was expelled because of it. I don't think one gets expelled from high school for wearing a Confederate flag alone. There's probably a long disciplinary list of problems that caused it. So what's going to happen in this video is they are going to do something in the next door neighbor's lot. The next door neighbor's name is Tommy. Tommy may or may not have a crystal meth lab in his backyard, which is probably the Beehive that Jeff knocks over. Jeff will then hop the fence right above that red sign on the right of the video feed with the white text, stay in the woods for a while. Then Tommy will become enraged. He'll drive his truck over to me and vroom, vroom, really aggressive, and start threatening me if I call the cops on him. So what's happening is these people are antagonizing the neighborhood against me. Not only is Denise not causing her son to finish his GED or work or do anything other than hunt and fish, which is contributing to the delinquency of a minor, she's coaching him to do these criminal acts against me because that's how angry they are. Circumstances had devolved, and as I said, they wanted more and more from me. They were threatening to shoot me even at one point, when it didn't make any sense, but that's the way it was. And so at one point I was like, you do your thing, I'm going to do mine, just leave me alone. And we were okay with that, but she came out of her camper at one point and complained about the noise I was making at 10 o'clock. And you'll see me later in the body camera footage section come out of my trailer, and open the gate, which has a clanging sound, and my dogs here yelp a little bit. So it wasn't anything more than that, but it was during quiet hours, not silent hours, quiet hours. And she's living in her camper. So, I'm telling her to leave me the heck alone, or I'm basically going to report them. And then it started really to happen. She called the police. She'd make noise complaints. Again, her trailer's half parked on my land. She's accusing me of breaking into her shed, which is a bunch of pallets put together with a tarp over top. The police come out and investigate that. They're actually quite serious about it. She's accusing me of selling drugs out of her mailbox. Her son, Jeff, is accusing me of having child molested him. I've only known them for 3 or 4 months, so he's 17 at this point. Okay, so at the top of the screen now you can see a truck moving out. That's probably Tommy's truck. At time index 28 minutes and 53 seconds, you can see someone running from the right of the tiny house at the top of the video feed on the left into that area where the truck just emerged. Right, so they're threatening me. They're calling the police on me. They're making all these complaints. I'm selling drugs out of their mailbox. I'm child molesting him. Jeff is 17 at this point. He's very proud of the fact he's 6'2". He's he's a pretty substantial guy for 17. And so, I guess that's possible, but it seems not so much to have credibility, and I think that's what the police found, because I never heard any boo about it. Okay, so now we're going to see some running at the top of the screen. Yeah, there you can see a little bit on the left. Now into the wooded areas. Again, top right of the screen. Okay. So the next time it is 30 minutes and 53 seconds. You can see Jeff hopping the fence again above that red sign with white text on the right of the video feed. So, but the police are not taking these complaints serious. Well, they're taking them seriously. They're being investigated, but I'm never hearing boo except for some noise complaints and supposedly breaking into her shed. They didn't do anything. They didn't arrest me. So, I'm living in the country here, and I have, fortunately, their police are more level-headed out there. They're more forbearing. Is that a weakness? I don't think so. But the reality is that these people are making these very serious accusations against me that could very easily put me in jail while an investigation goes on and while there's a trial going on. And these types of allegations do result in jail sentences. And there doesn't necessarily need to be semen samples. The convictions happen just from that alone. So these people are trying to hurt me. Am I being a tyrannical autistic lacking in empathy? No. I'm just not bending very well to the games they're playing. Unfortunately, these types of people will say that I lack empathy when I rebut what they're trying to do. Have I lacked empathy with them? Probably. I could have been more forgiving in some of the aggression that they were showing against me. I understand the circumstances they were living in, but I'm a human being too. At some point, this becomes intolerable. Okay, so we have some fence hopping coming up here in 3, 2, 1. There you go. There you go. He's up on the top of the right of the video feed there. So he'll stay in the woods for another 40 seconds. That happens at 31 minutes, 40 seconds. He emerges. And I'm having these very serious allegations being thrown against me. They are trying to hurt me. They are enlisting other people or trying to coax other people into trying to hurt me. Some people could have been in tears over this. Some people might have driven away. Honestly, that might have been a good idea. My family was like, Jordan, are you going to move away? This Beehive at the local crystal meth lab has been knocked over. Someone could put bullets in you. And unfortunately, I was just very happy there. Other than that, I love running the dogs in the woods. Them being happy makes me happy. So I stayed. I was like, no. And unfortunately, for good or bad, you do need to establish boundaries with people. It's just sometimes, again, as I said, you have to let people win. You have to back away when necessarily someone else viewing it objectively might say, you weren't in the wrong here. And the fact of the matter is, there's a general commentary from people that says, only be around people that make you better. And to that, at this point in time, if someone told me that, I would have said, well, that isn't a logically consistent statement. You're never going to be everyone can't be only around people that are better than them. And maybe that's a little bit of autism going on. But, I mean, the point is still the same. I think better phrasing was don't be around people that will pull you down. And that's exactly what these people are doing. Your mother, your parents may have cautioned you. Like during my PhD, I'd have friends that are minors. Minors aren't bad people necessarily. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good job. It's a good industry to be in. But people would find that funny that I would have friends that are minors, not that I wouldn't be around other stuck-up PhDs. That's the way I am. I'm like, if you're cool and easygoing, I don't have a problem being around you. And fortunately, I mean, well, no charges were pressed. There are driver's license entries being made against my driver's license for all these allegations. And you would better bet someone later on might view them differently. And there is a range of discretion. Prosecutors and police all have discretion. I'm sure the driver's license entry said, not substantiated or not credible, but these entries are being made, and someone in the future where there is this discretion in the law will make a different choice. They might decide that the law couldn't get you there, and they'll get you here. So putting myself in the circumstances was actually, kind of questionable. But why the heck can't you live out in the country, right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So the point of this video is really just to show you the extremes of human nature. You really have to watch yourself. You don't, if you're 8 years old, you probably just shrug your shoulders off because you're used to sticking up for yourself in grade school or elementary school. Okay, so here you see Jeff coming up to the property line. He's flapping his arms around. He's ready to go. He wants a fight, right? And this will become more apparent in the body camera footage later. Jeff he wants a fight. Now the body camera footage you see, I'm holding that in my hand. You can see that the camera's shaking because I'm that upset, right? That's a commentary on my neurology. I'm reactive. I react to other people. It's not my habit to set out to poke or antagonize people necessarily like they're doing here, with the intent of destroying. I might set it to try and change something and be oppositional to authority or rational, pervasive drive for autonomy with authority, but I've never done this, what's being depicted here. But nevertheless, it is a commentary on my neurology that I am very reactive. At one point, the police came, and she came out of her trailer and was hooting and hollering while I was talking to the police, and my legs started shaking. You'd better bet that my legs shaking was entered into the driver's license. Now, they didn't do anything. The cops there were pretty good, level-headed and forbearing, but the police and the country are much more forbearing than they are in the town, out in the town area. I mean, in the big city, I don't know what would have happened, how this would have been different. So, I mean, the social savvy here is, should I have parked there in the first place? Should I have put a fence up? Should I have engaged the court process earlier? Even if I put a fence up, they were harassing my surveyors. It's just, should I have moved away? What should I have done differently here? Right? So the benefit for the young autistic, they get to see these intense situations, whereas they might not encounter them. And, an 8-year-old might be used to standing up for himself and him or herself in grade school, but it's a different world as an adult. Things are much more serious. And so you take that 8-year-old attitude, I'm going to stand up for myself, and, all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel, and then the weasel pops. So, I mean, I could have been put in jail for some of the things they were saying here. Did yeah. So we're going to switch over to the body camera footage, so I'm going to stop the audio overlay on this part now.
Come over here, Tommy. I'll show you the recording. I got a recording. It was Jeff. I wasn't over there. It was Jeff jumped the fence. I have a video.
I don't care if you have a video.
I wasn't over there, dude.
Oh, you fucking tell the cops on me? You guarantee you'll be out of this motherfucker today.
I didn't do anything, dude. I wasn't on your property.
I promise you. You fucking tell the cops on me, and it'll be the last mistake you ever fucking
I'm not going to call the cops on you. I got you, buddy. Got you jumping the fence.
Oh, wow, do you want a cookie?
Yep.
Say something.
I said I got you jumping the fence. No.
Come here, you little 41-year-old little pedophile.
I got you on video jumping the fence. Then he came over here and yelled at me.
You're recording and you're trying to call the cops on him because that's what you like to do. You want to tell me about your little...
Anything you guys say from now on is garbage. Is absolute garbage.
Hey, what about your coke business? What about your coke business? I know all about that too, buddy. Yeah? I found all your little packages. Guess where they went? Right into the lake. Blow me.
Anything you guys say from now on is garbage.
Dude, we're not even talking to you. You're the only one saying shit. Jeff, shut up. Stay on your own side. Stay over there and leave us alone.
I'm going to call the cops on you
Shut up.
invading their property.
Call the cops. What are they going to find, buddy?
They're going to find the video, dumbass.
What video of what? Your fuck face. I didn't cross your property line. What you gonna say? Just say.
I'm going to call the cops is what I'm going to do.
Stop going to the microphone.
No, that's not going to happen, buddy.
Listen here, you 41 fucking pedophile. Get your ass over here. Be a fucking man instead of twirling your goddamn thumbs on a fucking computer.
Nope.
That's why you're not a man. Because I had to help you with your fucking fridge, your goddamn shit, and I had to cut down trees for you. Yeah, you remember that now, you dumb fuck?
That's why he pissed off everybody in Detroit. That's why he wants to be.
You remember that now?
I didn't jump anybody's fence there, lady. Yeah. Those cameras caught it. This camera caught it.
You want a cookie?
Nothing you guys say from now on matters.
You want a cookie because I didn't touch your property? What are you going to tell the cops?
He comes over here, starts screaming at me. You guys are totally... Nothing you guys say from now on matters. Nothing you say from now on matters. Every time you guys call the cops, I'm going to show them this.
Okay, go ahead. And I'll show them all the little pictures and videos that I got of you walking right up to this property line and putting that bitch down.
And your cocaine business. And your
So some unfortunate antagonism for me there. You know, some people might understand. You can see I'm angry. You can see some satisfaction, some relief. Maybe there's a victory lap in it. Are those things unfortunate? Maybe. Unfortunately, you know, we have to understand our basic needs but regulate them in using good ego according to societal norms. Fortunately, some people watching this will be, well, you shouldn't have done that, and you should do this differently, and it's all your fault, and blah, 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 and I think there is part of our psychology. Part of our psychology includes the person who deals the first blow gets deference, as I've said. And so, you know, they may be entitled in some people's minds to behave this way. And unfortunately, if you rebut some people's harsh criticism of what you did, then this is where I'm saying neurotypicals are misusing the word empathy, because the rebuttal should not be regarded as a lack of empathy. You're defending yourself. Unfortunately, in defending yourself, you know, do you have to? Could you just? It's just an absurd part of this. It's just the totality of human nature is so strange. The need to respond, the need to criticize, the need to behave like this. It's all strange. But you need to find a way to have emotionally healthy responses, and I don't know. There's no golden rule in how to do all this. So, you know, in this circumstance I won, but maybe I didn't. You know, maybe in another reality I might not have won, and the police believe them, and I get arrested and I get charged, right? So part of this video is a cautionary about that. You know, I was smart enough, maybe a little bit delayed, in putting up cameras and wearing a body camera so I could catch them getting up to this. And then hopefully this negates, practically anyways, the allegations that they're saying I'm a child molester and I'm a drug dealer and I'm breaking into their shed and stealing stuff. The other part of these videos is, you know, unfortunately, when you do get charged, you know, the fact scenario in your mind is what it is. There may be emotions, you may misconstrue what happened, but the thing is, the other people get to say whatever they want, and the cop gets to interpret things the way he or she wants. And unfortunately, they are not law enforcement. They enforce politicians' will and whim. And when a politician says we're going to go tough on crime, that could very well mean that you are charged sitting as the defendant in a case where maybe you did nothing wrong and you were in fact the victim. So what could I have done differently? I mean, hopefully you've done your own analysis of this. I could have moved away. I could have put up a fence and done property line. I could have engaged the courts. I could have avoided this, if you want to call it a victory lap. I could have avoided that. I did take these videos to the township, and despite the fact that they did nothing earlier, despite they're burning their fecal matter in the backyard and all these regulation violations, and they chose to forbear. Again, I actually respect that. But they did actually do something when they saw what was going on. And within a few months, they had to leave. Unfortunately, that generates more aggression from them. And that property I was on is adjacent to a state game area where dogs are allowed off leash. And that was the reason I bought it, as I said. So I would take my dogs and we'd walk across the street and we'd go for a run in the game preserve. But one day Jeff came driving his truck down the road, and it was like swervy, aggressive, I'm going to hit you. He didn't, but it was intentional. So in this circumstances, we knocked over a beehive in a crystal meth lab, and you better bet they have guns there. He's a decent guy, that Tommy. But everyone has survival instincts, and at some point, something's going to happen here. So I did a Freedom of Information request for all the documentation generated, as well as any allegations lodged by anyone, any parties involved, for a period of time around the incident. And Tommy's girlfriend, Desiree, had made this complaint. I don't believe it was against me, but you can see she's making an accusation that he is with something online, and they can see student making inappropriate slideshows of girls, searching younger naked girls and saving them to PowerPoint. So she's trying to egg the police on into searching and seizing and charging whoever this is with pornography issues, child pornography. These allegations of being a drug dealer, of selling, of child molestation are used as weapons. People grab at virtue and try and use, obviously, to use these things in a vile manner. Now, I'm aware of other parents who one parent accuses the other of inappropriate interactions with the child, and CPS is instantly skeptical. So this should not cause you fear, but there's a need for social savvy. So the young autistic or young person watching this, you're used to defending yourself as an 8-year-old, and that's fine on the school ground. But bear in mind that these sorts of things, as an adult, are much more serious, and you need to be wary of who and where you are. Don't let other people pull you down. You shouldn't be afraid because of this video. You shouldn't be afraid to live your life. I'm 46, and I've had maybe 3 crazy incidents in my life. This is one of the worst. And it's a rare event. But watching these videos, you can improve your social savvy. You can see my mistakes. You can see how other people behave. And you can integrate it into your understanding and be safer than you would have been had you not watched it. And so the unfortunate thing, though, is that we have to bear in mind that all these driver's license entries, all these claims and reports and investigations, these get your driver's license, and they're available for police and prosecutors in the future. And these people have broad discretion to lay charges the way they want to. And whereas, you might be a decent person, but life circumstances do conspire, and bad things happen, and then you might face a misdemeanor that you could probably defend, and then that misdemeanor is in fact escalated to a felony just because a prosecutor has discretion and a police officer has discretion, and they can see these things. And I really strongly believe in my case that the entries say not credible or not substantiated, at least, but enough people making enough complaints can lead to bad outcomes. Even necessarily when you make a mistake, or when you make it, it's your behavior isn't perfect. It's not law enforcement. This is political will. Police officers, prosecutors, they all work for politicians, and they use the law to get what they want. So that should scare you a little bit. You have to be mindful of how oppositional and pervasive drive for autonomy and rational drive for autonomy. You have to be careful about these things. And these types of incidents can increase your boldness unduly. So you need to have social savvy. And so on about the time of this release of this video, I'm writing the next chapter, which is fighting the good fight, increasing agreeableness and assertiveness. And so in that video, I talk very much about these things and the need to fight the good fight. But you have to have boundaries in mind, not just legally acceptable ones, but ones that will keep you safe.